Hello and welcome back to the Bard Review, the perfect start to your Sunday morning here at the Barn Theatre. I'm Benjamin Collins and I'm delighted to be joined as ever by the series co-producer Aaron Sidwell. Aaron, tell me, what have we got in store for us this week?
Well, we all know that Shakespeare wrote some of the most romantic scenes ever, and that's what we're going to be diving into this week.
That's right, he was the original rom-com writer, right?
Yeah, he was indeed, which is all the more surprising that rom-coms have now been given this new label of chick flicks because an alarmingly low rate of women were actually allowed into the theatre back in Shakespeare's day, meaning that these rom-coms were originally, should we say, dude flicks. So food for thought. But without further ado, let's get right into it. We are now joined by director AMIE Walker and actor Alistair Rowley. Thank you both for joining us tonight.
You're welcome. It's good to see you.
It's good to see both of you. Hello. All right. So first of all, Alistair, I wanted to ask you how, As You Like It is it's a lovely little play written for a mass audience at the time of Shakespeare. How familiar were you with the play itself before starting this?
Yeah, I was a tiny bit familiar. I'd seen Phoebe's monologue done quite a lot, so I knew that. But the general, and I knew all the world's a stage monologue, but the actual plot of the story, I didn't really know. So I had to familiarise myself with that. So I watched the Globe production of it.
Oh, that's it's great.
In order to get to know it. But yeah, I knew a couple of the characters and a couple of the famous speeches, but I wasn't really aware of the story.
I love that production, the Globe production. I think I must have seen it live because my godfather's in it. But it was quite a while ago now, so I kind of go, oh, he did Merry Wives there as well, and I'm like, I can't remember which one is the one that I saw. It's kind of
it's really good.
But yeah, it's great, and Jamie Parker's in that as well, who I just think is amazing, and he played Henry V there. And when we were doing Henry V at the Barn, I remember watching that production, and it was just, he's such a kick-ass actor. AMIE, you also had Claire Marie Hall working with you in this, and she's quite a well-known musical theatre actress. Did you feel that she was able to bring some of that into this at all?
Oh, I begged to. I said, "Oh, you're a great singer," because I did a bit of stalking and I listened to her tracks, and she went, "Please, AMIE, no, I want to do some Shakespeare. Please don't make me sing." She went, "Everybody makes me sing." So no, we didn't have to bring any of that in. The thing I love about Claire is how much work she wants to do. You're just working with somebody who's like this. Yeah, tell me, I'll do it. And it was a real pleasure to work with her and discover things together. But yes, there wasn't, and as you'll see when you see the video, there was not a huge MT element in it.
And AMIE, you've also got like a really exciting and innovative project happening in October. Can you tell us a little bit about that without giving too much away?
Yeah, well, it's a long-running immersive show, which is an immersive production of The Great Gatsby, which has been at its new home in Bond Street since the end of last year. And so hopefully this might be the first remounted show post sort of COVID. So the other director, Alex, who adapted it initially, is working with the producers at Immersive Everywhere to put in place how we can socially distance it. They've reduced the audience numbers. They'll reduce the amount of actors as well that perform, and reframe it as a masked ball. So the minute you arrive at one of Gatsby's parties, but this time it will be a masked ball to kind of excuse why people are wearing masks and things. So yeah, hopefully that will be a positive step towards reintroducing theatre at this time.
Absolutely. I remember seeing the announcement on it, and I just thought it sounded like such a great idea, and I think that quite a few people will follow your lead, actually. Thank you so much for working on this project, both of you. We were really excited to have you all on board, and when we saw the video, it was incredible. So we're going to now show the audience. This is Alistair Rowley and Claire Marie Hall in As You Like It, directed by the fantastic AMIE Walker.
Sang there my verse in witness of my love. And thou, thrice crowned queen of night, survey with thy chaste eye from thy pale sphere above thy huntress's name that my full life doth sway. Oh, Rosalind.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you deserves as well a dark house and a whip, as madmen do. And the reason why they are not so punished and cured is that the lunacy is so ordinary that the whippers are in love too. Yet, I profess curing it by counsel. I take upon me to wash your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart, that there be not one spot of love in it.
Now, by the faith of my love.
Come, woo me. Woo me? For now I'm in a holiday humour, and like enough to consent. What would you say to me now, if I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you were better speak first, and when you were gravelled for lack of matter, you might take occasion to kiss. Very good orators, when they are out, they will spit, and for lovers lacking, God warn us, matter, the cleanliest shift is to kiss.
How if the kiss be denied?
Well, then she puts you to entreaty, and thus begins new matter.
Or who could be out, being before his beloved mistress?
Marry? That should you if I were your mistress, or I should think my honesty ranker than my wit.
What of my suit?
Not out of your apparel, but out of your suit. Am not I your Rosalind?
I would take some joy to say you are, because I would be talking of her.
Well, in her person I say I will not have you.
Then in mine own person I die.
No! Faith! Die by attorney. The poor world is almost 6,000 years old, and in all that time there was never any man died in his own person, videlicet, in a love cause. Men have died from time to time, and worms have eaten them, but not for love.
I would not have my right Rosalind of this mind, for I protest her frown might kill me.
By this hand it will not kill a fly. But come, I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition. Ask me what you will. I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, faith will I. Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
Aye, and 20 such.
Oh, what sayest thou?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Why then, can one desire too much of a good thing? But come, you shall see the priest and marry us. Give me your hand, Orlando.
I will.
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife. I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
Right, we are now joined by Dougie Carter, who we saw this week starring alongside Molly Vincent in Much Ado About Nothing. Dougie, very warm welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Douglas, you and I go way back, and I must admit, even I didn't know that you would make such a fantastic Benedick.
Well, thank you.
Which you did. How was working with Kirsty Davis, who we've already had a lot of on Bar from the Barn, and also Molly Vincent being a fresh new grad?
Yeah, I mean, it was so lovely to do something for the first time in a while, and I've watched the Barn's progress since it's opened and seen a lot of their work. So I was desperate to sort of get involved with that building and the people that work there. So working with Kirsty and seeing how she works was great. And then she was just really clear and very fun, and she wanted to bring the life and really explore different aspects. So a lot of the rehearsals, we'd do a read through, and then she'd completely change it and just take it somewhere else, and then take it and then go back. And it's just, the process was really nice, really interesting to work that way. And it's been a long time since I worked on Shakespeare, so that was great. Molly was great. She's so enthusiastic, like really positive in this very difficult time for grads. So we had a lot of fun in like our private rehearsals, and also when we filmed it as well, because I brought a few of my mates, my actor friends along, and we had a lot of banter going on. And then afterwards we did, like, I think we were on the Zoom call for like 2 hours, and we just allowed her to ask any question about the industry for us, and just, you know, we tried to give her as much advice as possible. So,
and I'm sure it was golden advice.
Well, you know, it was pretty wonderful. I'm sure she'll agree. You know, but I just thoroughly enjoyed doing a play for once, which was nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. We've had loads of people sort of with musical theatre backgrounds working on this, and everyone's kind of had the same thing. They've been like, do you know what? It was really nice to actually be able to do something, but also do something that's actually not what I'm known for.
I mean, the last play I did was 2013, which is a long time ago, you know. So right. I've been craving some text for a while.
And Kirsty just loves this play. I mean, she's already done Benedick for us in series 1. She just thinks he's just the absolute bee's knees of a character. So this is Dougie Carter and Molly Vincent in Much Ado About Nothing, directed by the Barn Theatre favourite Kirsty Davis.
3, 2, 1. If Wimbo Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders, for all Messina as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking. Signor Benedick, nobody marks you.
What, my dear Lady Disdain? Are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she has such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedick? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Well, then courtesy is a turncoat, but it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart, had I not a hard heart, but truly, I love none.
A dear happiness to women, they would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood, I am of your humour, for that I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
Oh God, keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and 'twas such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer.
Oh, well.
But keep your way in God's name. I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
We are delighted to welcome Jessica Temple and Maxim A's to the show. Welcome, guys. How are you doing?
Oh yes, all grand, thanks. Sorry, I jumped right in there, Maxim.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, I'm doing well. I'm doing very well indeed. Happy to be here.
I wanted to ask you, Jessica, for those unfamiliar with the play, with the story, what's going on in this scene? How does it play out in terms of story?
So, in Love's Labour's Lost, there isn't actually many long duologues. So what we've had to do is amalgamate a couple of scenes together, where the princess first comes to the court and then some letters that get exchanged and stuff like that. So for the context of our scene, it's a pandemic and the princess, or as she likes to call herself, wants to go and visit the king against all kind of guidelines. We actually filmed this when we're in lockdown. So she turns up at the gate and then gets turned away, basically. It's all very, very sad. But in the actual play, I think the men aren't allowed to see the women, so they have to dress up as women. Is that right, Maxim? I think
they dress up as Russians for some reason. I don't know. So Russians are allowed to see women, apparently. I don't know.
We tried to put it in the context of what's happening in the world and how difficult it might be if you want to see a loved one and you can't, or even just like young people dating, like Tinder. You can't hook up and it all has to be online. We chatted about that a bit, didn't we, Maxim? I think trying to make it a bit relevant. Yeah, for sure.
No, it's definitely not the easiest to make relevant. There's a lot of like verbal diarrhea in the play. I think that's my favorite thing about
that's the technical.
Of course.
That's the technical term for it.
And Maxim, you went to the same drama school as the director, Joe O'Malley.
Yeah.
And am I right in thinking that you guys, when COVID kind of really happened and third years weren't able to kind of go into schools and finish off their courses, GSA paired you up with Joe as a kind of like buddy system into the industry?
Yeah, so whoever wanted to was put their name forward, and they were paired up with two alumni who left GSA, just to speak to, get some advice on. I mean, I think it'd be a great thing to do even before COVID, but it's definitely even more useful now. Yeah, so I got to speak to Joe, see what a lovely guy he was, and just pick his brain a little bit, steal some of his advice. It was great. No, but it was strange though. Just the abrupt ending. You have a lot of expectations for leaving drama school, and then poof, it's gone in an instant.
Yeah, I bet. Really, really, really bizarre. And I was saying to you guys before we started filming, but Joe came to me with this idea and said, this has kind of been going on, and I've been chatting to this guy. Is there any way we can get him involved in Bar from the Barn? And at that point, I was planning series 2, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do with series 2. And I kind of said to him, I was like, "Oh, there's an idea in this somewhere," and so that kind of spawned the idea for this setup, and I think it's proved to be a really cool thing, actually. Just apart from just bringing more people together and more creative people together than just a director and an actor, it's hopefully providing some kind of pathway.
No, 100%, and just getting to see how Jess and Joe interact. I don't know, just I got some perspective on the way the industry really works, the personal level that is required within it. There were so many people they'd be speaking, I'd be there like, I don't know who any of these people are, but maybe one day.
So unprofessional. Basically, it's just like talking about.
No, it was great. I was there like, yeah.
All right, well, without any further ado, let's get right into it. This is Jessica Temple and Maxim Ace in Love's Labour's Lost, directed by the very wise mentor sage, Joseph O'Malley.
your message?
Tell him the daughter of the King of France, on serious business, craving quick dispatch, importunes personal conference with his grace. Haste signifies so much while we attend, like humble visaged suitors his high will.
Proud of employment, willingly I go.
All pride is willing pride, and yours is so. What admittance, Lord?
Navarre had notice of your fair approach, and he and his competitors in oath were all addressed to meet you, gentle lady, before I came. Marry, thus much have I learned. He rather means to lodge you in the field, like one that comes here to besiege his court, and speak a dispensation for his oath to let you enter his unpeopled house.
Fair princess, welcome to the court of Navarre.
Fair, I give you back again, and welcome. I have not yet. The roof of this court is too high to be yours, and welcome to the wide field too base to be mine.
You shall be welcome, madam, to my court.
I will be welcome then. You want me dinner?
Hear me, dear lady. I have sworn an oath.
Oh, our lady help my lord. He'll be forsworn.
Not for the world, fair madam, by my will.
My will shall break it. Will, and nothing else.
Your ladyship is ignorant what it is.
Were my lord so, his ignorance were wise, where now his knowledge doth prove ignorance. I heard your grace have sworn out housekeeping. 'Tis deadly sin to keep that oath, my lord, and sin to break it. Oh, God, but pardon me, I am too sudden bold. To teach a teacher ill beseemeth me. Vouchsafe the purpose of my coming, and suddenly resolve me in my suit.
You may not come, fair princess, in my gates. But here without you shall be so received as you shall deem yourself lodged in my heart. Though so denied fair harbour in my house, your own good thoughts excuse me. Farewell.
Sweet health and fair desires consort your grace.
Thy own wish I thee in every place. AMIE. But do behold the tears that swell in me, and they thy glory through my grief will show. O Queen of Queens, how far dost thou excel? No thought can think, no tongue of mortal tell. But alack, my hand is sworn there to pluck thee from thy thorn. I would forget her, but a fever she reigns in my blood, and will remember it be. How shall she know my grief? I'll drop the paper. Sweet leaves shade folly.
Right, we are joined now by actors Jordan Ginger and Laura Josephine Williams, who we saw earlier this week in a... Hello guys. We saw you guys earlier in Midsummer Night's Dream, and yeah, big welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Laura, we see in this scene a video calling / dating app called The Wood, but for those who don't know, what significance does that hold to the play?
Well, the play, of course, is set in a wood itself. So that's the relevance of the play. But the idea actually came from Jordan because of the popular use of House Party during COVID-19, you know, the app House Party.
Indeed.
Yeah,
I used it once with my family and never used it again.
I feel like people downloaded it, used it once, and then got rid of it. But yeah, it just seemed kind of apt during this time. So yeah, that's the only real link that we just thought it was a really good sort of like format to use.
But certainly we've had no one go anywhere near House Party yet. So
yeah,
here
we are.
I love House Party.
Yeah, I couldn't. I think it came out at the same time as I started Bard from the Barn, and when I started Bard from the Barn, I don't think I quite anticipated what it was going to do.
I think the beauty of it was you could just jump in on people, and I think that's what we were trying to do in this. Was like she was pursuing him, so she could just jump into the conversation that would. Yeah. And there's a lot of phrases in there. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no, it was just that whole kind of like with Helena being rather like persistent throughout. It really worked because, like Jordan said, you could just pop into anybody's conversation without like having like being granted access. Do you know what I mean? So it really worked that way with that sort of like speed and timing of the scene. I don't know, Jordan, if you agree. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Like just jumping in and she's trying to pursue him and he's not interested. And I think calling it the wood as well, rather than because you can't go outside. At the time you couldn't go outside into a wood. It was good for metaphor for it. So that's what I remember. I think. And
Laura Josephine jumps right into your some of your dance moves, Jordan, which I'm well aware of your awesome ability when it comes to dance, and now the audience are too. Jordan, I've performed with you several times, and you have frequently tried to make me laugh while I've been singing. So the minute that this scene came up, or the minute that this play came up, you were the first person I thought of, because I was like, yes, he's a very funny young man, and I thought that this would be perfect for you. And then seeing you cutting some shapes just felt like it was my life pre-lockdown. So did you just give yourself the opportunity for a quick dance routine, or was that something that...
Yes, you did.
Well, there's the answer.
That's the answer.
I think Jonathan had said about preparing for a night out, as if you're going on a night out in Essex or something. I think when you're getting ready, sometimes you might put a bit of Five or something on in the background, so you might have a little... I don't put Five on. But you might have a little party, and I think also being interrupted then by his former flame is a bit embarrassing stroke annoying. So, and I just threw a few dance moves in for you, Aaron, to be honest.
Oh, good. Well, I was over the moon to see them, and I think we've teed this up for the audience now, so I think they are dying to see your dance moves. This is Jordan Ginger and Laura Josephine Williams in A Midsummer Night's Dream, directed by Jonathan O'Boyle.
Who was amazing, by the way. I must put that in. Great director.
Oh, go away. I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Where is Lysander and fair Hermia? The one I'll slay, the other slayeth me. Thou toldst me they were stolen unto this wood, and here am I, and wood within this wood, because I cannot meet my Hermia. Hence, get thee gone, and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant, but yet you draw not iron, for my heart is true as steel. Leave you your power to draw, and I shall have no power to follow you.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not, in plainest truth, tell you I do not, nor cannot love you?
And even for that do I love you the more. I am your spaniel, and Demetrius, the more you beat me, I will fawn on you. Use me but as your spaniel. Spurn me, strike me, neglect me, lose me, only give me leave, unworthy as I am to follow you. What worse a place can I beg in your love, and yet a place of high respect with me? To be used as you use your dog.
Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you.
You do impeach your modesty too much, to leave the city and commit yourself into the hands of one that loves you not, to trust opportunity of night and the ill counsel of a desert place with the rich worth of your virginity.
Your virtue is my privilege. For that, it is not night when I do see your face. Therefore, I think I am not in the night. Nor doth this wood lack worlds of company. For you, in my respect, are all the world. Then how can it be said I am alone, when all the world is here to look on me?
I'll run from thee, and hide me in the brakes, and leave thee to the mercy of wild beasts.
The wildest have not such a heart as you. Run when you will. The story will be changed. Apollo flies, and Daphne holds the chase. The dove pursues the griffin. The mild hind mates speed to catch the tiger bootless speed. When cowardice pursues and valour flies,
I will not stay thy questions. Let me go, or if thou follow me, do not believe that I will do thee mischief in the wood.
Aye, in the temple, in the field, in the town, you do me mischief. Thy Demetrius, your wrongs do set a scandal on my sex. We cannot fight for love as men may do. We should be wooed, and we're not made to woo. No, Demetrius, wait! I'll follow thee, and make a heaven of hell, to die upon the hand I love so well.
We are now joined by Perry O'D, who this Friday starred alongside Libby Fox in The Taming of the Shrew, directed by Paul Ryan Canbury. Perry, welcome to the Bar from the Barn review show.
You all right, mate?
Yeah, good. Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers. I have a question for you, Perry. It's a bit of a long one, but bear with me. Many people have seen a version of this play without realising it, obviously. The Hollywood movie 10 Things I Hate About You is based on the play, but in this version, obviously, you modernised even more by bringing the element of catfishing, where people pretend to be someone else on the internet. Was this a collaboration? Was this idea a collaboration between the three of you, or was it like an idea brought into the process, by someone?
It's actually really interesting with the idea, as me and Libby were talking separately before we were talking to Paul, and we both thought of the idea then. And then when we talked to Paul, the director, he also had the idea already of that element. So it was quite like we were all on the same page from the word go, and we all had this same kind of idea of, we could do, like you say, another version of Taming of the Shrew, which has been done slightly different, but people have always seen a sort of version, or we could flip it on its head totally and go from a different angle. And actually, with the current climate of the power between male and females and women and men, we thought it would be a really interesting idea to go with that.
Yeah, and it's a really cool play, and just playing with that idea. I think so many people don't know its kind of history, and absolutely the film of 10 Things I Hate About You and the connection, and it is such a fascinating thing for us to kind of play around with now. This idea of you've got to get that one before you can get that one to do it, and paying somebody to do it, and it's so clever. We must give a shout out to Paul Ryan as well, and his editing the video for us. His end was amazing because he was able to get it exactly how he wanted. This is Perry O'D and Libby Fox in The Taming of the Shrew, directed by Paul Ryan Canbury.
Blah, blah, blah. Shout skirts. Oh. Way I feel, man, I feel like a woman.
I will attend her here and woo her with some spirit when she comes. Say that she rail. Why then, I'll tell her plain, she sings as sweetly as a nightingale. Say that she frown. I'll say she looks as clear as morning roses newly washed with dew. Say she be mute and will not speak a word. But here she comes. And now, Petruchio, speak. Good morrow, Kate. For that's your name, I hear. You lie, in faith, for you are called plain Kate, and bonny Kate, and sometimes Kate the cursed. Myself am moved to woo thee for my wife.
Moved? In good time. Let him that moved you hither remove you hence. I knew you were first you were immovable.
Why, what's a movable?
A joint stool.
Thou hast hit it. Come sit on me.
Asses are made to bear, and so are you.
Women are made to bear, and so are you. Come, come, you wasp, in faith, you are too angry.
If I be waspish, best be aware my sting.
My remedy is then to pluck it out.
Aye, if the fool could find where it lies.
Who knows not where a wasp does wear his sting? In his tail.
In his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours of you talk of tails, and so farewell.
What, with my tongue in your tail? Nay, come again. Good Kate, I am a gentleman.
That I'll try. What is your crest, a coxcomb?
A combless cock, so Kate will be my hen.
No cock of mine. You crow too like a craven.
Nay, come Kate, come, you must not look so sour.
It is my fashion when I see a crab.
Why, he is no crab, and therefore look not sour.
Well aimed of such a young one.
Now, by St. George, I am too young for you.
Yet you are withered.
'Tis with cares.
I care not.
Nay, hear you, Kate, in sooth you scape not so. It is extempore from my mother wit.
A witty mother, witless else her son.
Am I not wise?
Yes. Keep you warm.
Marry, so I mean, sweet Catherine, in thy bed. And therefore, setting all this chat aside, will you, nill you, I will marry you.
Right, I think that is enough romance for 1 week. Otherwise, I will start kissing Ben. It's just, super weird. Right, we hope we have converted you back to the rom-com way, the dude flick, as we will now be calling it at the Barn Theatre. And here is a sneak peek as to what is in store for you next week when we jet off to the Mediterranean in a very Italian week on Bard from the Barn.
Believe me, love. It was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale.
Knowest thou me yet?
I know thee not. Thy name?
Who doth molest my contemplation? Is it your trick to make me ope the door, that so my sad decrees may fly away, and all my study be to no effect?
You wronged yourself to write in such a case.
Such a time as this, it is not meet that every nice offence should bear his comment.
I do conjure thee, who art the table wherein all my thoughts are visibly charactered and engraved, to lesson me and tell me some good mean how, with my honour, I may undertake a journey to my loving Proteus.
We will see you next week, Monday to Friday at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday at 9:30 a.m. for your next